it's Tracy Jackson, also known as the Spiritual Cheerleader, and I wanted to come to you to say Happy Resurrection Sunday, Happy Easter. Obviously, I am a Christian. I call myself an expanded Christian now because I do find the love that I experience through Jesus's teachings in other religions and spiritual traditions, and in other, texts, like A Course in Miracles or the Tao Te Ching. I find his messages in so many places, and so I feel it's almost a disservice to just call myself a Christian, because I feel like I'm so much more, and it I feel like I have a richer experience as a Christian, because I've allowed myself to be open to learning from so many others and seeing this love that I've always known be reinforced in so many different traditions. But I wanted to come to you today to just speak a little bit about Jesus. I really, felt called to talk about him more today, especially on Resurrection Day, because of the fact so many of us put the priority on the resurrection, and we don't realize that we have to go through this sort of that we have to go through a death in order to have the resurrection. Obviously, we had Good Friday on Friday. Many people are going, why is Good Friday called Good Friday? Like, it's about, like, he died. Like, what's good about that? The good thing about that is that through Jesus's death, obviously Christians believe that he died for us. He was the sacrificial lamb. He was the one that took on the sins of the world, and basically killed them through his death, so that we had access to be saved from the Father. That's how Christians, how we, basically the central tenet of Christianity is this whole idea that Jesus died so that we could live. As an expanded Christian, I've kind of thought of Jesus's act as even more symbolic of the death that we have to go through as we transition into various phases of our life. We have to die to old beliefs, die to old identities, die to, ideologies and things that we have changed our opinions on. I mean, for me, my beliefs about certain things have changed completely from what they were when I was like in high school or even in college, or just 2 years ago. So to me, we have to go through that death in order to get to the resurrection, and we can't just bypass the death to get to the resurrection. We have to recognize that there are times that we're going to have to let things go, and there are times that we're going to have to maybe give things up, and all of that's happening so that we can get to the place that we need to go. And I pulled this card from the Crystal Mandala Oracle by Alana Fairchild for Jesus. It's Ascended Master Jesus, and Rosafia is the actual crystal here, and it says meaningful sacrifice. And the card really speaks to the whole idea that sometimes we have to let go of the want to establish and bring forth the greater need. Obviously, Jesus probably didn't want to die, right? He said it. He said it in the Garden of Gethsemane to God, Lord, if this cup can pass from me. And then he stopped himself and he said, but not my will, but thy will be done, right? He gave and was a meaningful sacrifice for us all, because he could have literally said, you know what, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. But he didn't. He went forward with it because he realized that there was a greater good that was happening for all through his small sacrifice. And sometimes, on our journeys, we feel like there are certain things we want and we're not getting them as fast as we want to get them. We're not experiencing them in the way that we thought we would get them, or we're not manifesting them at the pace that we thought we were getting them. And the reason that sometimes happens is because there is this meaningful sacrifice going on. We're not getting those things so that we can learn lessons, we can persevere, we can, be edified for our journey as teachers to others, or as people spreading the message to others. By us going through maybe a hard time and a hard period, we're able to then be able to help someone else down the line go through that same type of hard period. And so, it's not necessarily the thing that we want, but ultimately it ends up being what we need, and something that ends up manifesting for the greater good of all, rather than just my greater good, right? Sometimes we have to sacrifice what we might want so that we can collectively raise to another level. And I think so many people are doing that right now. One of the things that just crossed my mind was, some of the people that are running for president, I'm sure they're getting a lot of flack from, various sides. Obviously they have their supporters, but there's certain ones that are getting, flack for running. I mean, I feel like every one of them is getting flack for running for one reason or another. They're putting themselves in the line of fire for and they're doing it because they feel like it is for the greater good of all that I'm running for president. I'm willing to endure the slings and arrows that may come my way, because I know that, if I succeed, it will be for the greater good, right? So think of that this week. I just wanted to share that with you today. Obviously, it being the Resurrection Sunday, and really help you to focus on the fact that, yes, it's so wonderful that he rose again and that he was resurrected, but we wouldn't have a Resurrection Sunday if he didn't die on Friday. So it's something that we need to really, really think about, and not try to rush through or bypass. It's something that we do need to embrace and accept, that we have to let go of certain things, and we have to let certain things die in order to be resurrected or reborn into something new. All right. I hope you guys have a great week, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.